Good afternoon, everyone. It is now 13:30 hours or 1:30 p.m. for those unfamiliar with shipboard time, and time to begin our commencement ceremony. Please clear the aisles and silence all cell phones and pagers. I'm Dr. Deborrah Hebert, Dean of Students. Our ship's bell was rung this afternoon by Cadet Crystal Bennett, Corps Commander for the 2013-14 academic year, using the class bell lanyard made by Cal Maritime alumnus Brian Higgins. Our procession will begin with the platform party led by Dr. Julie Chisholm, Chair of our Academic Senate, and alumnus Leonard R. Exner, representing the class of 1963. The platform party includes President Admiral Thomas Cropper, members of our Board of Trustees, members of the President's Cabinet, and honored guests. The platform party will be followed by our distinguished faculty and the graduating class of 2013, including our inaugural group of students graduating with their master's degrees, and our cadets. Please stand. Please stand for the playing of Pomp and Circumstance, performed by the Golden West Brass Quintet from Travis Air Force Base.
Good afternoon and welcome to the California Maritime Academy's 82nd Commencement Ceremony. Today we have 170 cadets who will be graduating with their bachelor's degrees, and we have the first cohort of students consisting of 17 students graduating with their master's degrees from our very first graduate program that we launched 2011. I'm Dr. Gerald Jacobowski, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, and it is my privilege and honor to serve as Master of Ceremonies for this historic event. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not already standing, please stand for the presentation of the colors and the playing of the National Anthem by the California Maritime Academy Brass Quintet. Corps Commander Andrew Kelly, please come to the podium.
Color, attend, hop! Color guard, advance colors. And salute. Ready, two. Corps, uncover, and ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats.
It's now my honor to introduce to you the President of the California Maritime Academy, Admiral Thomas Cropper.
Can somebody tell me it's a great day? Well, good afternoon, and welcome to California State University's Maritime Academy, and to what is surely going to be a great day. It's a great day for our graduates. It's a great day for their families, and it is a great day for the state of California. For our graduates, it's a great day because for them, history starts now. After many years of study in the capable hands of our world-class faculty, today's graduates are ready for global careers in a very exciting profession. The class of 2013 have been students and cadets and athletes and campus citizens, while at the same time satisfying a demanding curriculum requirements that range from state, national, and international. To work or to fight, they are ready. For our families, it's a great day because through these years at Cal Maritime, they've watched their sons and daughters be transformed into confident and capable professionals. Their children have received two wonderful gifts: a lifelong worldview provided by few other universities on the Pacific, and the ability to walk the talk because they had a faculty and staff that showed them the way. For the state of California, it's also a great day. California State University provides access to education for 400,000 students every year. The taxpayers of this state made a commitment to providing a superb education to every citizen. And the people of this state invested in you, our graduates, because they believe in the power of education for all who seek it. Our graduates and our families who have supported them have delivered on that promise. But above all, today is a dream come true for a generation of Californians, your generation, who will rise in leadership in practically every facet of California's very vibrant culture. We have great hopes, great faith, and great expectations that you will continue to represent yourselves and your alma mater with the same passion, humility, and grace. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce the members of the platform party. I would ask each of them to stand when they are recognized, and please, if you can, hold your applause till they've all been introduced. In the front row, beginning on my far left, your right, CSU Trustee J. Lawrence Norton, CSU Trustee Rebecca Eisen, CSU Trustee and Chair of the Board of Trustees Bob Linscheid, Vice Admiral Paul Zukunft, Commander Coast Guard Pacific Area and Commander Coast Guard Defense Force West, Colonel Robert DeStafney, our special guest and speaker for today. Distinguished Alumnus Award recipient, Mr. Bob Piazza, and Mr. Bob Exner, representing the graduating class of 1963. In the back row, again beginning on my far left, Dr. Gerald Jacobowski, Provost, Vice President for Academic Affairs. Dr. Julie Chisholm, Chair of the Academic Senate. Mr. Kurt Lohide, Vice President for Administration and Finance. Mr. Stephen Creta, Vice President for Student Affairs. Ms. Beverly Bile, Vice President for Advancement. Captain Harry Bolton, Master of the Trainship Golden Bear. We are honored to have several distinguished guests among the audience. It's my pleasure to introduce them. I'd like to welcome for our nation's Maritime Administration, Executive Director Joel Sabat and Hank Bryan. Longtime friends of Cal Maritime, Bob and Penny Brower. A new friend, Captain Greg Stump, U.S. Coast Guard Commander, Sector San Francisco, and his wife, Leanne. The outstanding board members of our growing Alumni Association, including Alumni President Ken Passe. Many members, past and present, of the Cal Maritime Foundation, without whom our mission here would be impossible. Foundation members. We also have Vallejo's former vice mayor and current Solano County supervisor from District 1, and probably our biggest fan in Vallejo, Aaron Hannigan. I'd also like to welcome the members of our Golden Bear Society, whose generosity is manifested in the 170 graduating seniors before us. Golden Bear Society members, could you stand, please? I am especially pleased to welcome President Emeritus Jerry Asplin and his wife Carol. The Asplin family made history this week, joining hands with the Tom Jacobson family and the Paul Stevens family to provide a $50,000 gift to our school. Hi, Tom. Their generosity will provide funding for one of our faculty as the Asplin, Jacobson, and Stevens family Distinguished Professor in Marine Transportation. Thank you. Now I have two more people to introduce. One's my boss. She's also my first lady and yours. Heather Cropper. Hi, honey. And now it's my privilege to introduce California State University trustee and chair of the board, Bob Linscheid, who will extend greetings on behalf of the board.
What a glorious day. Good afternoon, fellow trustees, Admiral Cropper, graduate candidates, family and friends. I bring you greetings from my colleagues on the Board of Trustees and Chancellor White on this truly glorious day for Cal Maritime Academy. You will join over 90,000 other graduates in the CSU who will receive their graduate degrees this season. I want to congratulate you on a terrific achievement, one that you will remember for the rest of your life. I have to say, though, that after 8 years as a trustee and have attended over 50 graduation ceremonies, that this is one of my favorites. And it is because this is what it's all about. It's all about family, it's all about friends, it's about our country, and it's about getting a job. I can't tell who cheered louder, the parents or the graduates. But I want to end with a quick story about your leader, Admiral Cropper. You see, during my tenure on this board, we've had a number of retirements. In fact, 13 presidents have retired since I've been on the board. I don't know if I should take that personally or not. But I always ask a question: what are you most proud of professionally in your career? And I asked the same thing to Admiral Cropper as he was a candidate for this institution. And he looked me square in the eye and he said, "Sir, I've taken 24,000 people to battle and I brought them all home." I've never heard that from any other president. Have a glorious day. Congratulations.
CSU trustees, thank you very, very much for joining us today. And Chairman Bob, we appreciate you joining us once again, and thanks for your remarks. Two members of this year's graduating class have been selected to deliver comments on behalf of the class of 2013, one representing the graduate students and one representing the undergraduate student body. We will begin with Brian Creasy, who will deliver the graduate student address on behalf of those receiving their master's degrees. Brian is a Cal Maritime alumnus, class of 1998. Mr. Creasy, please come to the podium.
Wow, there are a lot of people out there. This is an exciting time for us all as we move from education, formal education, into a world of opportunity. It's with sincere honor that I'm addressing you today on behalf of our distinguished inaugural peers, faculty, and university. Thank you for entrusting me with this most esteemed task. For my family, I thank you for your support and understanding in this endeavor. To my classmates, I wish you all the best of good fortune. And the Academy and the faculty, my most sincere and earnest thanks to you. In a conversation with faculty yesterday, I joked that I was going to wear only underwear underneath of my gown, and that underwear was going to be blue and it was going to have CMA on the back. And then I said there was going to be a big golden bear on the front. In true Maritime Academy fashion and pride, Dr. Burns said, better to have a big golden bear than a little one. I had something else, but that seemed really fitting. So I want to tell you a story about how I got here. It won't be long, but bear with me. My journey to this pulpit began years ago when I took a couple of years out of my work life to go sailing. I sailed a boat down to New Zealand, and while I was sailing on that trip, I ended up stopping in Fiji and sailing with some friends. On that boat was a guy named John Strong, who was a CMA graduate. He had just graduated, he was on his honeymoon, and he seemed to be a pretty happy guy with a lot of good things to say about California Maritime Academy. John is now a captain and pilot for Jacobson Pilot Service, and he had so much good to say about the Academy that it was so compelling that inside of 30 days I had cashed in my boat, almost everything I owned, and come back to that place that he described, which now is right here, the Maritime Academy. I spent 4 years here, and the Corps of Cadets was a time of bonding and growing for me and so many of my friends who are friends of mine today. It was a time that we went from adolescent to adult, and that period is just so precious to me. So my journey here started then, but if I go back far enough, my journey really started because I lived in a household full of love and encouragement that allowed me to live a set of diverse experiences that led me here to this day, today, to welcome all of you and the first graduate program graduating California Maritime Academy. So the question begs, what brought us here today? And I believe that it's a trifecta of the maritime industry, personal passion, and a quest for individual knowledge. The first of the three elements is maritime transportation. It's been around for 4,000 or 5,000 years. It's thriving. It's not going away. Domestic and global economies will continue to demand products be shipped around the world, and nothing is more certain than the demand for us as future leaders to carry that industry through the 21st century and beyond. Personal passion is the second of the trifecta. For without passion for the sea and transportation and the Maritime Academy, likely we as cadets or students would have gone elsewhere where we didn't have to wear uniforms, have formation, inspections, and cruise. Well, cruise was good. Cruise was good. We'll take that one back. For without passion, we would not be capable of meeting the high expectations and demands of this academy. Individual knowledge is the third element of the trifecta. Individual knowledge of the sea, shipping, and transportation can be learned either through the hawsepipe or education, or in this case, a combination of both. It is the education and experience provided by the California Maritime Academy that completes this trifecta. So don't get me wrong, we all worked hard, we worked very hard, but it's CMA that allowed this trifecta to be complete. So let's go back for a second to Fiji and my discussion with John Strong. Upon further reflection and having completed some schoolwork here, I realized there are some points that John wasn't able to convey to me. Most importantly, the university and its instructors indoctrinate its students with special tools and characteristics that go beyond academics. Those that come to mind are discipline, trust, collaboration, problem solving, independent thinking, and grit. Grit. That determination that separates leaders from followers. It was during my undergrad work here that I learned how important discipline and trust were. We learned to trust one another on crews, on watch, in our coursework, and to build strong relationships and to work out creative solutions. Creative solutions, that is. We were in it together, and in many instances, the only way out was creative thinking, problem solving, and working together. It was about team, service above self, having each other's back, and bringing out the best of the talents that we each possess. While carving my career path for the next decade, I am more than a little proud to say that my education and my CMA credentials commanded attention and respect. Working professionally in engineering prepared me for the next phase of my life, which is this graduate program. Much like my earlier years here, I learned a new characteristic to further my career called transformational leadership. This is a process for changing and transforming people and culture. It is a form of socialized leadership that is concerned with the collective good, transcending one's own interests for the sake of others. So as you all reflect on what you have learned here, consider those characteristics within yourself and determine how and where you can best apply them in this distinctive industry. It is important to earn a decent wage, but it's also important to do right by the world and by humanity. Explore your character, and then find your place to apply your characteristics, and do so with passion. It is only with honest passion for our work that we may go forward and make positive change. As graduates of this master's program, we are each prepared for and have a responsibility to look forward to our unique industry, shaping the environment and the companies that we work for by carving out your vision of what the future looks like and holding high the standard by our training here. And while you are exploring, in the words of one of our faculty, Dr. Larry Biannotti, go forth, do good, and leave an enduring legacy in all that you do. Thank you.
Brian, thank you very much. You're an inspiration and a role model to our cadets that are graduating today. Thank you. Cadet Andrew Hazel, a Marine Transportation major, now will speak on behalf of the cadets class of 2013. Cadet Hazel, please come to the podium.
Oh, hi, everybody. My name's Andrew Hazel. on behalf of the class of 2013, I would like to say welcome to faculty and staff, friends and family, and of course, our distinguished alumni for coming back on this day. Thank you. As I stand before you today, I have been given the task to say something profound. Webster defines profound as having intellectual depth and insight. But seeing as how I just started my speech in the most cliche way possible, it's pretty easy to assume I won't be all that profound. But that's all right. That's all right. The truly profound moments are the ones which have already come, and it is these moments which have prepared us for the milestones of the future. These profound moments are often the small ones we remember later. They came in the early mornings with sextants in hand, in the lunchtime study sessions with more books on the table than food, as friends frantically tried to cram before exams. They came in the hours we spent proofreading each other's papers, and the nights in foreign ports where we never left a man behind. These moments, they came in the phone calls to home from abroad, where we counted each precious, expensive second. On the training ship, we tried to make the most of our 30-minute phone cards in the hopes that one card could last the whole 2 months at sea. Desperately, we were hoping to be kept sane, hearing the voices of you, our loved ones, back home. Sorry. Unless you, our loved ones, never got that call, in which case the satellite phone was experiencing technical difficulties. It was never because I was too busy, too cheap, or too lazy to call home. I swear. And so, after several difficult years, let us recognize that Cal Maritime has uniquely prepared us to work well together as expert professionals. For years, CMA has pitted us not against each other, but together against common enemies. Together, we have defeated cold, early morning celestial calculations. Together, we've defeated difficult circuits tests. Together, we've defeated mounds of essays. And together, we've defeated months of long, lonely nights at sea, cramped quarters, and of course, mess deck food. In these profound moments, we have learned expert skills, professionalism, and most importantly, teamwork. And so today, we stand at the uneasy boundary between two worlds, similar to a sea captain rounding Cape Horn in the 18th century. Behind him lay the vast Atlantic. Before him, the mighty Pacific. While he rounded the Horn, the winds roared and the seas rose, but the captain made it around to find great profits in the lands beyond. By the end of today, we will have just completed a similar journey. Behind us lies a vast sea of education. But we have successfully made the difficult, perilous rounding of the Horn of Coast Guard tests, senior projects, and senior theses. Now before us lies a bountiful sea of professional opportunities, and we are well equipped to take advantage of them. But we find many differences between the journeys we take and that of the 18th century captain. When that captain plotted a course, he did so in secret, below decks, by the light of a single candle. He kept his knowledge of the stars a secret so that a crew, gluttonous for more grog, could never mutiny and throw him into the sea. But today, things are very different. We learn celestial navigation at Cal Maritime, so if the captain doesn't dole out enough grog, it'll be straight to Davy Jones' locker with him. Just kidding, sir. The actual difference is that today, one member of a crew cannot be alone responsible for the safe, successful operation of a vessel, terminal, or power plant. We must all work together. The collaboration we've learned at Cal Maritime is key, not only to our flourishing, but to our very survival on the high seas. Indeed, by working together on the challenges at Cal Maritime, we have had many profound moments of learning and cooperation. We are as ready as we'll ever be to succeed and pass the great milestones of the future. That milestone in a few moments, hopefully a very few moments, when we finally get our degree. The milestone in a few months when we'll all be employed, hopefully, I'm still available. We'll be ready for that moment in a few years when we finally get that great promotion, and we'll be ready for that moment in 3, 4, maybe 5 decades from now when we can finally pay off these student loans. As someone who has overcome adversity with the help of many, and for those of you who know me, quite a great many, I believe that we should all remember those who have helped us along this path, and there have been many of them. The fabulous staff at Cal Maritime have maintained grounds, set up this tent, maintained the boats and the ship, reached out to the community, served us meals, delivered our emails. The wonderful faculty here have opened their offices to us, as well as their hearts, to become not only knowledgeable professors, but also wise mentors. Those who have graduated before us have served not only as our role models, but have consistently donated back to this school in time and money far beyond their obligations. And let us not forget about our family and friends beyond the gate, reminding us of the real world out there that we strive to be in someday. So now, remembering the profound moments which have led us to this point, remembering those who have helped us through the struggles, and knowing with certainty that we will find milestones of success in the uncertainty of the future, it is clear that we are standing on the cusp of that future. Okay, most of you are sitting on the cusp of that future. Either way, it's clear that if we're going to get anywhere, it's just about time to walk.
Nice. Thank you, Andrew. Let's give him another round. Come on, that's great. That hit the spot. I bet it made the Hazel family sit up a little taller, didn't it? Well, it's my distinct pleasure and high honor now to present our commencement speaker, Bob DeStafney. There's a reason I have the trident here. Bob DeStafney, retired Colonel, United States Marine Corps, active Captain, United States Maritime Service. As you see, Bob needs no introduction to the class of 2013. He served as their commandant in early years at Cal Maritime. For those not as familiar, allow me a brief observation of Bob's very impressive life of service. Some call him Bobby. Some call him Bubba. Some called him Colonel. Some call him Captain now, but everyone calls him friend. Maybe it was those formative days on the Naval Academy football team. Or perhaps it was his 30 years of service in the Marine Corps during 3 consecutive turbulent decades in our nation's history. Or maybe it's his love of sports, baseball in particular, that led him to earn his second master's degree in sports administration. This gentleman has a zest for life, a love of people, and a burning and unquenchable sense of service to others. He brought that fire in the belly to Cal Maritime in his tenure as Commandant of Cadets, and it burns today in his present role as Deputy Commandant of Midshipmen at the United States Merchant Marine Academy. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming our guest speaker, Colonel Bob DeStafney.
Hi, Heather. Help me get through this. Help me get through this. I'm going to beg the Admiral's indulgence and make a very personal statement before I speak to the Assembly. For you all, and for you all, there's no secret that my family and I suffered a recent tragedy. I lost my best friend. I met her when we were 15. We married when we were 23. We stayed married for 33 years. I love and miss that girl. But that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about you. I want to talk about your response, and I want to talk really to the greater California Maritime Academy community response. On day 2 of my wife's 8-day hospitalization, someone delivered flowers, and we couldn't have the flowers in Roxy's room. So I asked them to just set them out on the nurse's station. And a couple hours later, my son, Mark, came in the room and said, "Hey, Dad, have you seen the flowers out there?" I said, "No, I haven't been out to see them." He said, "You really ought to go out there and just take a peek." And when I finally got around to doing so, what I found that the very first acknowledgement from outside the Long Island area that someone was thinking of us and praying for us was from you, from the associated students of the California Maritime Academy and the Corps of Cadets, the very first. And from that moment on, the cards and email and phone calls from cadets, Bill Philbeck, Chaz West, and emails from staff and faculty, and emails and calls from alumni, graduates, members of the class of 2010 and 11 and 12. And if you get weepy right now, I'm never going to get through, okay? I'm never going to get through. So my short message is thank you. Thank you. I'm talking to the men and women of the class of 2013. Thank you to the ladies and gentlemen of the staff and faculty of the California Maritime Academy. I'm told that this is a live webcast, and I know that every graduate is, somewhere in the world is watching right now. So thank you to the alumni. I'll extend my gratitude to Ken Passe and ask him to pass that on to Cal Maritime graduates everywhere. Thank you very, very much.
Love you, Colonel.
Hey, thanks, Bill. Thanks, Larry. Now comes the hard part. I got to follow Andrew, who got to follow the guy with the big golden bear in the front. And so that's really, really kind of a tough go. I think if I were to follow protocol, I would begin my remarks with addressing distinguished visitors, and I'd probably start with Admiral and Mrs. Cropper, and then the provost, and then all the other folks that Admiral Cropper has introduced. But I got to tell you, this is the first time that I've attended a graduation ceremony where I was looking out. And my sense is, from the looks on your faces, I'm talking about all of you people behind this body of white and over in the flanks, and my sense is that if you're here today, you're a distinguished visitor. If you're here today, you're a distinguished guest. You have a connection to a cadet who is crossing a significant threshold. And the looks on your faces, ladies and gentlemen, are looks of hope and of optimism and of the future. Amen. Amen. There are also looks of relief that your son or daughter or your grandson or daughter, he's crossing the finish line. And God bless him for doing that. But for you all, we wouldn't be here without you. So you're a distinguished visitor and you're a distinguished guest. Over here in this body of faculty members, just the looks on your faces, my memories of you during my short time at the Academy, your commitment to cadets, your commitment to students, it's just incredible. And to see you all here, again, pulling, dragging, encouraging, teaching, mentoring, coaching, advising cadets across this finish line is inspiring. And we wouldn't be here without you. And today, 3 members of the faculty will, for the last time as active faculty members, watch their students across the finish line. Steve Pronchik and Lloyd Kitazano and Dr. Bunny. Are you, Dr. Bunny, here? Thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for all of your years of service to this school. And now to you all. This a beautiful picture to me. When you all were marching in, if you call it marching. Hey, the Marine in me never goes away, never. I had a flashback to, honestly, to my own graduation ceremony. And in just a little less than a month, I'm going to celebrate the 35th anniversary of my commissioning and graduation ceremony. And just like you all, I was kind of filled with a little bit of anxiety. But I was just ready to go. I just wanted to go. And is Brett Bryan here today? Brett, BRB Bryan, whose idea to have a 4th class cadet sit in his chair during the graduation ceremony so he could just go early. That's just brilliant, Brett. Yes, I do read Facebook. And you're busted. On that day, our commencement speaker was the 39th President of the United States. And the Presidential Archives would show that our graduation ceremony began at 10 a.m. on the 7th of June in 1978, and that President Carter began his remarks at 10:38, and then he spoke for 37 minutes. What the archive will not show is that by minute 7, I was asleep. I couldn't help it. We were in an outdoor stadium. We were in uniform, and the sun was blazing into our eyes, and because we were in uniform, we weren't allowed to wear sunglasses, so I couldn't help myself. And for 25 years, that nagged me. I mean, it really did. It nagged me. Here's Jimmy Carter, the only Naval Academy graduate to be elected president. And on my first day as a second lieutenant in the Marine Corps, I showed such incredible disrespect to him by falling asleep. True story. About 10 years ago, I used to kind of nag my wife. I said, God, I fell asleep during Jimmy Carter's speech. So she, being a wiser person than I am, she visited up on the Presidential Archives Jimmy Carter's speech. She said, here, read this. And so at minute 7, I was asleep. That's a true story. But the memory just flooded back. Here's a promise. I'm not going to speak for 37 minutes. And if I see anyone dozing, I'm calling you out. Okay? Promise. This morning, I had the incredible privilege of observing the commissioning ceremony for 11 new ensigns in our sea services. I think 2 Coast Guard ensigns. 3 Coast Guard ensigns. And 8 ensigns newly commissioned in the United States Navy. After 30 years in the Marine Corps, I agree, yeah. But after 3 decades in the Marine Corps, I'm drawn to these types of ceremonies. And the draw for me is that you get to see up close and personal young people swearing to do things. You know, they literally swear. They raise their right hands, and they typically will repeat an oath. In just a few minutes, aspiring third mates and third assistant engineers are going to stand and they're going to swear an oath. And ladies and gentlemen, this is incredible because A, those oaths are verbalized by those taken. It's not, you don't just sign. You have to move your lips. You have to say your name. You have to say, I do. And at the end of some oaths, you have to say, so help me God. And that audible commitment is both, it's just right in your face. And not only that, it's public. There are no secret oaths in the Armed Forces of the United States. There are no secret oaths in the U.S. maritime industry. And so that visible sign of commitment, that visible indicator that I'm going to do what I've said I'm going to do, that I swore to do as I raised my right hand and solemnly swore, so help me God, I'm going to do those things. And the truth is that in our country, we make those types of commitments our entire lives. I think just about all of us who grew up in the United States education system, private or public schools, at the age of 5 or 6, started the Pledge of Allegiance. And you did it really when you were 5 or 6 because your teacher wanted you to. It was one of those, it was just one of those stepping stones, one of those building blocks to education. And when we tend to get skeptical about little kids making an oath to not only the flag, but to the republic for which it stands, I got to think that, there's really something good to say about, at an early age, a kid showing some indication that I belong to something greater than myself. There's something to say about a little kid who's getting a hint about patriotism and about loyalty. So we start really, really early. Any Little League baseball players or softball players out here? Little League softball or baseball? When I was 8 years old, I took what was really my very, very favorite oath, and I still remember it. Last August, out in eastern Long Island, I was asked to throw out the first pitch for the District 6 Little League Championship. District 6 is Long Island, New Jersey, and parts of Connecticut. So I got to throw out the first pitch. And what I wasn't really expecting was after the first pitch was all the teams came on. So you got about 8 teams and 100 little athletes, ages 10 to 12. And almost spontaneously, they removed their caps, they put their cap over their heart, and they recited the Little League Pledge. The Little League Pledge is, and I jumped right in, I knew it. I trust in God, I love my country and will respect its laws. I will play fair and strive to win, but win or lose. But win or lose. I've forgotten the last line. I'll always do my best. And my thought then was, my gosh, isn't this fantastic? And don't we do things similar? Newly licensed mariners, newly commissioned officers. Don't we say something fairly similar, that we're going to support and defend the Constitution of the United States? We're going to do so without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. We're going to obey the orders of the President and of the officers appointed over me. That's commitment. And as you go on in life, you're going to be asked to make public commitments, just like a commissioning commitment, just like a Pledge of Allegiance. If we stick fairly close to tradition, most of you will, at least one time in your life, get married. And if your wedding vows are even semi-formal, you're going to say things about loving and honoring and obeying, and in sickness and in health, till death do us part, or, as in the case of Roxy's wedding and mine, as long as we both shall live. We make public promises. We make public pledges. We take oaths and we make vows that we can't take back. And that's a wonderful thing. You can't say, you 11 ensigns, hey, I didn't really mean it. Yes, you did. I saw your lips move. I saw you raise your hand. Just think how much better we would be if we just kept all of our promises, if we kept all of our commitments. Brian, is it Brian? Brian used the word grit. Thanks, Brian, a great word. What do we really expect of you now? We expect some commitment from you. For those of you who took an oath of office this morning, for those of you about to take an oath of office this afternoon, it's a scripted oath. We know what you're going to say, we know what you're going to swear to, but there's not always a ceremony. There's simply not. There's not always a ceremony. There's not always a public display of commitment, a public promise, a public vow, or a public oath. But think how much better we would be if we would simply keep our promises, if we would keep our oaths. For those of you who are going to work in any industry, I got to tell you that every business, every profession, every line of work in our country is clamoring for young leaders who will keep their commitment. They're begging for young leaders who will keep their commitment. They will demonstrate grit, persistence, dedication, obligation, and the public ceremonies in which we'll observe today really appeal to our finest sense of those things: duty, obligation, accountability, responsibility. But within ourselves, we've got to find the discipline to maintain our commitment to our families, to our profession, to our ship, to our company, and not lose our sense of commitment until we are certain that we have made a positive impact, that we've made things absolutely better, that the bottom line is better, that our people are working in better conditions. Ladies and gentlemen, that's your challenge for the rest of your life. Today's your commencement day. It's your graduation day. You're all going to walk up here. You're going to extend your right hand. You're going to shake the Admiral's hand, and you're going to grab a diploma with your left hand. That's your public sign of obligation. That's your public sign of commitment. And I look forward to seeing you, working with you. I look forward to hearing from you. I can't thank you enough for the opportunity that you have presented to me, really, and to my family to address this class. I'm eternally grateful. I hope you enjoy your commencement. More importantly, I hope you will recommit to something, a cause, a person, a business, a profession, a family, a life. I wish you all fair winds. I wish you all God's blessings. And I'm grateful to you for serving our country. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Bubba. No, thank you, Colonel DeStafney. That was tremendous. It's now my honor to present the Distinguished Alumnus Award. The Distinguished Alumnus Award was established to recognize and honor graduates of the California Maritime Academy who, during their chosen career, have distinguished themselves and brought credit to the Academy through their outstanding personal and career accomplishments. It was also established to recognize and honor non-alumnus individuals or organizations for their significant contributions to the goals and objectives of Cal Maritime and its Alumni Association. This year's recipient is a 1965 graduate. He has been a friend, a mentor, a guiding light for so many in the Cal Maritime alumni family. His ambition has always been one of service, whether it was his 30-year career in the United States Navy, his long-standing contributions as a member of Cal Maritime's Industry Advisory Board, his superb career in managing large and complex manufacturing operations, or, as his wife said, it might be his wry and rascally humor. It puts everyone at ease. His signature trait is leadership. He loves people. He's constantly searching to find ways to help others, including his beloved veterans, and he makes sure that the job gets done right the first time. Above all, he wears his heart on his sleeve when it comes to his love for the nation's finest maritime academy. Please join me in honoring the 2013 recipient of the Distinguished Alumni Award, Captain Robert Piazza. It's the first time he's listened to me. I've asked Bob to stand. I'm going to read the proclamation here. Whereas Robert W. Piazza graduated from Cal Maritime in 1965 with a baccalaureate degree in marine engineering and has distinguished himself as a professional during his illustrious career as an engineer and business professional. And whereas he has promoted alumni engagement through service as regional chapter president, class scribe, and CEO of the Cosmic Marching and Chowder Society. Whereas he helps guide the future and focus at Cal Maritime on a day-to-day basis and into the future as a member of our External Industry Advisory Board. Whereas he recognizes the importance of supporting our cadets and was instrumental in efforts to establish the Alumni Association's first mentoring program. Whereas during his 24-year career with Dresser Industries, now Halliburton, as Vice President of Global Sales and Marketing, he managed 3 manufacturing plants with sales of over $200 million and a sales staff of over 500 people worldwide, with sales responsibility for over $700 million and driving sales to $1 billion. Whereas he orchestrated a system at Pomp, which puts it in the top managed companies in the United States, utilizing state-of-the-art machinery and processes, making it solvent and capable to adapt as necessary in very short order. And whereas Mr. Piazza's service extends beyond Cal Maritime to his community in the greater Sonoma County and our country as a naval reservist between 1961 to 1991, be it resolved that I, Thomas Cropper, in my capacity as president and on behalf of the Academy's Alumni Association, faculty, staff, and Corps of Cadets, proclaim Robert Piazza as recipient of the 2013 Distinguished Alumnus Award, and with it, this proclamation. I would also like to present Bob with a medal. I now acknowledge the candidates who received special recognition at the Senior Awards Ceremony we held 4 weeks ago. The names of the recipients and the respective awards are in your programs, and I ask those recipients to stand to be recognized now. This morning, commissioning ceremonies were held, as Colonel DeStafney mentioned, for the United States Navy and Coast Guard, and allow me to introduce those who are now commissioned officers. Please stand when your name's called. 2 cadets commissioned in the United States Navy: Andrew Samp, Brittany Wilson. 6 cadets commissioned in Strategic Sea Lift Officer Program: Jason Contreras, William Escamilla, Daniel Gallinson, Stephen Partridge, Daniel Tan, Alex Unruh. And 4 cadets commissioned in the Coast Guard: Robert Bobuck, Tom Hernandez, Thomas Hernandez, Micah Hall, John Tipton. Way to go. At this time, I would invite Vice Admiral Paul Zukunft, Commander Coast Guard Pacific Area and Commander Coast Guard Defense Force West, to join me at the podium and to administer the oath for licenses. Candidates for Merchant Marine License, please stand.
Boy, Ensign sure did get young looking over the years. Okay, good afternoon. As a flag officer in the United States Coast Guard, I am extremely proud to administer the Merchant Marine License Oath to the California Maritime Academy class of 2013. Federal law requires all recipients of a Merchant Mariner's License to take an oath of affirmation before a Coast Guard officer stating that they will faithfully and honestly perform their duties. I now ask the graduates who are receiving Merchant Marine licenses to stand and raise their right hand and repeat after me this execution of the oath. I, state your name, do solemnly swear or affirm that I am a citizen of the United States and that I will faithfully and honestly, according to my best skill and judgment, and without concealment or reservation, perform all the duties required of me by the laws of the United States. Please be seated. As duly sworn officers of the United States Merchant Marine, I now certify that you are ready to stand the watch on seagoing merchant vessels. I charge you to carry out your duties with integrity and professionalism and never lose sight of the public trust you hold when acting under the authority of your license. I wish you all the best luck in the future, and may you always have fair winds in following seas. Congratulations to the class of 2013.
Thank you, Admiral Zukunft. The California Maritime Academy launched its first graduate degree program, a Master of Science in Transportation and Engineering Management, with areas of specialization in transportation, engineering management, and humanitarian disaster management. The program is offered in a fully online asynchronous format, making instruction available to the student 24 hours per day, 7 days a week. Students proceed through the 5-semester, 20-month program as a cohort. We are honored today to be presenting master's degrees to the very first cohort graduating from this program. Candidates for master's degrees, please stand. President Cropper, these graduate students of the California Maritime Academy, class of 2013, are candidates for the Masters of Science in Transportation and Engineering Management degree. They have completed the required curriculum or will complete their requirements during the summer or fall 2013. All have been recommended by the graduate faculty to receive their degrees with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Candidates, you've been recommended for master's degrees by the graduate faculty of the California Maritime Academy, a proud campus of California State University. Subject to verification, you've satisfied all requirements for graduation, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I bestow upon you the degree of Master of Science in Transportation and Engineering Management.
We will now conduct the traditional hooding ceremony associated with obtaining the master's degree. Dr. James Burns, Dean of Extended Learning, will read the names. I will hood the graduates, and President Cropper will present them with their diplomas. Please step forward.
Jennifer Marie Baker. Concentration, transportation. The U.S.'s position in the UNCLOS, restructuring the current law of the sea treaty, which would allow for the U.S. to ratify. Angela Abarca Borja. Angel, I'm sorry. Concentration is energy management, and I'm sorry about that, messing the name up, but healthcare maintenance and strategies, a case study, is his capstone project. Timothy Clark, his concentration is transportation, and his capstone project is the cost and benefits of vehicle fleet emission reduction. Brian Creasy, his concentration area is engineering management, and his capstone project is strategic planning, the development plan for a comprehensive asset management program in power generation. Jeff Dorfler. Jeff's concentration is transportation, and his capstone project is enterprise resource planning, system implementation for a project management perspective, case studies with suggested methodologies for successful implementation projects. Michael P. Doris. His concentration is engineering management, and his capstone project is an assessment of the benefits and challenges associated with the use of LNG within the maritime industry. Sabran Fennell III. Sabran's area of concentration is engineering management, and his capstone project is a navigational roadmap to the development of a California charter maritime preparatory high school. Garrett Huffman. Garrett's concentration is transportation, and his capstone project is the OCIMF's inclusion on California Maritime Marine Oil Terminals. Borislav Ivanov. His concentration is transportation, and his capstone project was the effects of long-term trend of lowering the sulfur emissions of marine vessels. William Adam Kilborn. His concentration is engineering management, and his capstone project is the decommissioning of the temporary Trans-Bay terminal. Destiny Noelani Knudsen. Destiny's concentration is humanitarian disaster management, and her capstone is triplication of the community warning system for local refinery disasters. Brian Cameron Lee. His concentration is transportation, and his capstone is Ocean Defense Systems Electronic Deck Management. Ann L. McIntyre. Her concentration is transportation, and her capstone project is current issues in regulation of state pilotage. Douglas Lavelt Ogden. And Douglas's concentration is transportation. His capstone project is transportation and management of hydraulic fracturing fluid and produced water in Bakken shale regions. Timothy Brooks Patrick. Timothy's concentration is transportation, and his capstone project is entitled Can the Port of Los Angeles Long Beach Remain Relevant? Contemporary Threats and Policy Responses. And finally, Ryan Michael Storrs. Ryan's concentration is engineering management, and his capstone project is a product development model for medical device entrepreneurs. Also completing today, but unable to attend because he's at sea, is Jeff Varney. Jeffrey's concentration area was transportation. Thank you very much. Congratulations to our graduates. Very proud of you.
Congratulations to all of our master's degree graduates, and we're so happy and proud of you. We are also awarding today baccalaureate degrees in 6 majors. I now call upon the chair of our academic senate, Dr. Julie Chisholm, to present the candidates for baccalaureate degrees on behalf of the faculty. Julie?
Will the faculty please stand? Faculty of the California Maritime Academy, I certify to you that upon completion of the required curriculum, these candidates for the baccalaureate degree are eligible to be awarded their
Please be seated. We have an outstanding group of faculty here at Cal Maritime. I am very, very proud of them, and I know your appreciation of them are going to grow as you progress in your careers. In particular, I want to point out that 3 faculty members who will be retiring at the end of this academic year and who have served 74 years of combined service to the California Maritime Academy. I ask them to stand when I call their names. First of all, Dr. Stephen Pronchek. 19 years of service. Dr. Bunny Payne Clemay, 20 years of service. And folks, you're going to have to listen to this one. Professor Lloyd Catazano, 35 years of service. I ask all of you to please give these 3 faculty members, as well as all of our faculty members, a large round of applause. Candidates for baccalaureate degrees, please stand. President Cropper, these students of the California Maritime Academy, class of 2013, are candidates for baccalaureate degrees. They have completed the required curriculum or will complete their requirements during the summer or fall 2013. All have been recommended by the faculty to receive their degrees with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto.
Candidates, you've been recommended for baccalaureate degrees by the faculty of the California Maritime Academy. Subject verification that you've satisfied all requirements for graduation. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I bestow upon you the degree of Bachelor of Science or Bachelor of Arts as appropriate.
Cadets, please be seated. Cadets will be greeted by the Academic Dean, the Director of the ABS School of Maritime Policy and Management, and the respective academic department chairs as they approach the stage. Candidates, please cover and approach the stage.
One row at a time.
Stay right there. Okay, folks, here we go. First, James Abel. Nicholas Bernard Anderson. Blake Armand. William Wayne Atoned III. Andrew David Attore. Thomas Busalier. B.J. Bailey. Jordan Baldock. Nicholas Balustra. William Ballou. Jared Osamu Benka, magna cum laude. Marlena Benavente. Benjamin Burke, cum laude. Lee Corbin Bloom. Congratulations. Robert Thomas Bobak III. Mark P. Baylan, summa cum laude. Brett Robert Bryan, magna cum laude. Derek Britton. Gina Maria Brizzi. Robert Bo Bullard. Bradley Allen Burles. Kevin Terrell Campbell. Cole Carpenter. Joseph Paul Carr, magna cum laude. Noah Alexander Cass. How you doing there, Jim? How you feeling? James Cleveland. Joseph Cole. Nathaniel Connolly, magna cum laude. Jason Paul Contreras. Jeffrey Cooper. Blake Cowan. Michael David Cowan. Devin Patrick Coyle, magna cum laude. Sean David Daggett, cum laude. Andrew William Dahl, magna cum laude. Kayla Ann D'Ambrosi. Sterling Robert Daniels, cum laude. Heather Jillianne Dean. Damian Deaton. Harris DeVore. Andrew DiTucci. Sabrina Polian Domingo. William James Duff. Zachary Victor Dule. Daniel Joseph Eberhardt, cum laude. William Escamilla. Matthew Faust. Brian Feliciano. Dennis John Fennelly, magna cum laude. William Frederick Philbeck, Jr. William Fitzpatrick, cum laude. Quarea Marie Fuston. Daniel Gellinson. Saw Sir Gay. Alexander McGyver Godwin Austin. Andrew Thomas Gonzalez. Daniel Richard Gorman. Lauren Marie Grasdahl, magna cum laude. Jason Maxwell Grosshans. Hey, Rebecca. Rebecca Helen Grossman. Cody Steele Hannes. Benjamin Richard Harmon, cum laude. Andrew Hazel, magna cum laude. Henry Hendricks. Thomas Hernandez, cum laude. Yeah. Mark Higgins. Ansel Maxwell Hoffman, cum laude. Hyatt Hamweaver. Micah Howell, magna cum laude. David Phillips Hoyt, magna cum laude. Aaron Gray Huff, magna cum laude. Owen Francisco Hurley, magna cum laude. Matthew Earl Yunker. Elliot Dawson James. Johannes Mercer James, summa cum laude. Hazik Alexander Jamil. Mylan Jarrett. Jared Dario Jawad. Andrew Jibbanathan, cum laude. Austin Drake Jensen. Joseph Michael Jimenez. Brandon Lee Johnson. Charles Vincent Judge. Andrew Stewart Kelly. Evan Otto Knock. Eric Anthony Crick. Nicholas Colombo Lodgen, cum laude. Travis A. Larson. Alan Lee, cum laude. Mark Logan. Kevin Luce. Sheldon Lotspike. Connor Matthew McLeod, summa cum laude. George Magalong III. Reese Mahan. Shimei Maznov, magna cum laude. Matthew Christopher Maurer. Charles May. Ronika Nicole Meadows. Jack Meehan, magna cum laude. Eric David Messerly. Daniel Traver Metcalf, summa cum laude. Ryan Timothy Meyer, cum laude. Jonathan D. Miller, cum laude. Jordan Drew Moncrief. Isaiah Moore. Justin Nolan Moore. Hi, Nicole. Nicole Moss. David Charles Mulcahy. Isaiah Murray Johnson. John Newman, summa cum laude. Robert Sean O'Brien. Ricky Ernest Ocon. Douglas D. O'Neill. Jack Kalina Oak. Grace Paranjapi, cum laude. Steve Partridge. Zachary Patterson, magna cum laude. Ryan Charles Pearson. Lariz Pinder. Thomas Daniel Polito, cum laude. Nathan James Pollard. Daniel J. Posey. Alex Racine, cum laude. Don Rahill, magna cum laude. Juan Carlos Martinetti Roberts, cum laude. Cody Cho Rango, magna cum laude. Jesse Cole Rango, cum laude. Andrew Samp. Stephen Schreckengast. Hesham Shaibi. Lonnie Pierre Shankling Jr. Dylan Vincent Sims. Sierra Sitton. Cassandra Alexia Smith. Christine Spadoni. David Stadatos. Sky Sturek. Billy Lewis Sturgill Jr., magna cum laude. Suzanne Swader. Ayaba Takunadi, summa cum laude. Blake Taylor, magna cum laude. Brandon Tepen. Stephanie Tarikas. Daniel Trong Dan Tun. John Youngberg Tipton. Leah Aaron Todd, cum laude. Presenting Leah with her diploma is her mother, Dr. Terry Todd, who is an assistant professor and director of clinical operations at Cal State Northridge. Matthew Alexander Toman. Monica Torres, cum laude. Brian Patrick Triggs Jr., cum laude. Drew Tucker, cum laude. Vasily Koman Tudoran, summa cum laude. Paula Ann Tuziak. Alexander Christian Unruh. Blake Van Gundy. Matthew Van Rensselaer. Andrew Vaught. Atticus Velez, cum laude. Dante Villa. Eric M. Vuoso. Rebecca Nicole Ware, magna cum laude. Melanie Weaver. Sam Wiseman. Kyle Michael Wenig. Hey, Chaz. Ernest Charles West III, cum laude. Brittany Rianne Wilson. Tyler Joseph Woke. Richard Nicholas Wooden, magna cum laude. Ryan Edward Ibarra. And last but not least, Brett Thomas Zimmer, cum laude. Congratulations. One more round of applause for all of our graduates. Thanks. Please be seated. I'm proud to say that we have several veterans in our graduating class who have served our country with prior military experience. If you are a veteran, or if you're currently serving our country, please stand and be recognized at this time. Please stand. To all of our graduates and now our newest alumni, let me say you have come a long way. This is your time to celebrate. Congratulations to each and every one of you. I also want to acknowledge the parents, spouses, other family members, and friends who have supported, encouraged, and contributed to the success of these graduates. I ask the graduates to give them a round of applause. We also want to thank the Golden West Brand Quintet from Travis Air Force Base who provided today's music, and Deanna Gahn and Kylie Kirkpatrick for their services as sign interpreters. And with this, I would like to turn the podium back to our president, Admiral Cropper.
So what do you think? Is it a great day? Okay, history starts now. So what time is it? All right. Okay, we're going to have the parents practice next year. Will the class of 2013 please stand? I want to invite all of you to a reception on the water side of the tent for some refreshments and to congratulate your graduates. Ladies and gentlemen, the new alumni from the class of 2013 will now be released of all requirements and responsibilities as cadets of the California Maritime Academy. Mr. Kelly, ring out the last watch for your class.